Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another awesome episode of On the Throttle with Jackie Van Ham and my buddy Josh, bringing you all of the breaking news going on out here in the world of motorcycles and power sports. Welcome back, everybody. If you're a regular watcher of the show, welcome back. Good to see you all again. Happy May. It's spring season. We made it, although it's third winter here in Kentucky and Ohio, where Josh is. If you are new to the show, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that share button to share this video with all of your friends that love hearing about what's going on out here in the world of motorcycles and power sports. For today's program, much like national treasure Willie Nelson, all of my stories have to do with on the road again. That's right. All of my stories for today have to do with traveling and jumping on that bike and getting a little wind in your face. That's right, Josh. That's my dad joke for today. Josh, what do you got going on in your neck of the woods?
So we all could use an assistant in life, and Honda is coming out with a new assistant for your motorcycle, but it may not be what you think it is. And then we're going to talk another BYOB episode, and it's not what you think it is either there, but yeah, sure. It's going to be both of those. So we will get into those. We've got a message here first from Pengrade 1, which for all of your motorcycle, ATV, and UTV oil requirements, be sure to run Pengrade 1. The unique base oil cut utilized in the original green oil and the enhanced levels of anti-wear additives provide strong protection while reducing internal friction for increased horsepower output under the most demanding conditions. Pengrade 1 is proud to be made in the USA.
The road can throw a lot at you, but you can depend on Heidenau Tires to see you through it. Quality, made in Germany. For more info, go to HeidenauTires.com.
And of course, huge thanks to our show sponsors for today, Pengrade and Heidenau Tires. Thanks for jumping in. So for today's show, as promised at the very beginning of the program, all of my stories for today have to do with getting on that bike and going and getting a little wind in your face. And my first chunk of news, I ripped straight from the headlines of our parent website, which is motorcyclepowersportsnews.com. And that is talking about a new series of rides that have been planned. If you are heading to the 120th anniversary of Harley-Davidson, you are not going to want to miss this. First of all, I want to take a second and point out the flyer on your screen because this is the Harley-Davidson Homecoming Rally concert lineup. Foo Fighters and Green Day, heck yeah. And then a couple other great bands going on. It is guaranteed to be a heck of a weekend in Milwaukee. This takes place in the very middle of July. This is coming up in just a handful of months, July 13th through the 16th. And there's a couple of dealerships have jumped in to organize group rides to get you there all as a team. So let's go ahead and jump on into this story. All roads this summer are going to be leading to Milwaukee as the motorcyclists plan to converge on the Lake Michigan shore. Again, that is July 13th through the 16th for the Harley-Davidson Homecoming Festival, a celebration of its 120th anniversary. So like I said, a handful of dealers have all worked together to plan these awesome ride-in routes. There is a southwestern route, a northwestern route, a northeast route, a southeast route, a Canadian east route, and a Canadian west route. So they have got you entirely covered to get you as a team to Milwaukee for this incredible weekend. To see each route in detail, including downloadable Harley-Davidson ride planner information, you can go to Rides In. The complete details on additional Harley-Davidson Homecoming Festival tickets and all that jazz is at h-d.com/homecoming, where visitors can also sign up for instant homecoming updates. And there's tickets and concert information, and I think there was some giveaways and VIP packages, all sorts of rad stuff going on over there. But I just definitely wanted to let people know well in advance, if you are thinking about going, this looks like a heck of a fun way to get there. Who doesn't want to jump on a bike and ride out to this massive rally with ones, twos, dozens, hundreds of your favorite Harley-Davidson other riders? I mean, who knows how big these rides are going to be, but I bet you the turnout is going to be bananas. The excitement around this year's event is absolutely huge. Josh, are you already packing up your motorcycle and planning on hitting this incredible 120th event?
I may head the opposite direction because you said there's going to be a lot of people there, so I may go the other direction just because of the sheer amount of people there. I will be out in the woods someplace. If anyone wants to join me, please don't. Look, Harley's going to do a party right. And so for them to set this up, it's a great thing. And I mean, there are a ton of people that are going to want to get on board with that. So yeah, it's the way to do it. It's a way to have fun with it.
Yeah, this is going to be a heck of a good time. And there's so many other like events around this event. All of the local dealerships are hosting huge parking lot parties and street parties and events in Milwaukee. This is just going to be absolutely spectacular. I personally already have this on my calendar. I am definitely putting this on my books to go because this just looks like such a good time. Just to name drop again, some of this information you can track down. Again, Gesundheit. I know, Josh, it's allergy season.
Thank you.
You can find this information over at our parent website, which is motorcyclepowersportsnews.com. The Southwest route is you're going to roll out of Laidlaw's Harley-Davidson in Southern California. The Northwest route is starting from Paradise Harley-Davidson in the Pacific Northwest. You're going to ride past Mount Hood and all these like rad, that is just going to be spectacular. Where else? Seacoast Harley-Davidson in New Hampshire. Alligator Alley Harley-Davidson, which is of course down in Florida. Privateers Harley-Davidson on the North Atlantic shore in Halifax, and then Trev Dealey's Motorcycles in Vancouver. Those are your dealerships that currently are participating. Wow. So make sure you head over to our website and check it out. Josh, what do you got going on for your first story today?
So I said we all need an assistant. So right now you have ABS, there's traction control, there's wheelie control, there's launch control, there is slide control. Honda has proposed jump control, which for anyone that does any sort of adventure or off-road riding, this is the pinnacle of putting smiles on your face. Ironically, in this, I have put the most analog bike still sold on the planet there, pretty much. So just to go against everything on that, but I still think it's a unique idea. Honda has illustrated this with their CRF 450 rally, because when you're out there for 8, 9, 10 hours during a rally, worrying about your pitch and stuff like that, when you're jumping, is if you could get some assistance with that, that would be a big help. Their view on this and moving this to the road, what it uses is it starts with an upfront camera that looks at any slope that you're approaching. And it goes from that, and then it starts looking at inertia sensors and suspension sensors to judge what it needs to do. There are 3 modes, and I've got those shown here in the next slide, and this is a demo slide from Honda on this. The first mode is no jump. It will come up, it will slow you down, it will close the throttle for you, it will put on the brakes to get you slow enough so you're probably not going to jump over any slope that the camera sees up ahead. The second version here is the flat landing, which it uses the throttle and brake to control how your bike goes through the air, which is, if you ever watch a motocross race, you can see them do that. The front end will be high, they hit the rear brake, and the front end comes down. You'll also hear them give it what they call a panic rev if the front end's low to help bring that front end back up. It will do all of this automatically and know what it's doing for this. Now, in the third mode, it will give you that nice, soft rear wheel first landing that is the preferred landing, but it's a little bit more difficult and it takes a little bit more management. But these 3 modes are what Honda is coming out with for this. Now, if you notice, there was no lawn dart mode, which if anyone's gone over a jump before, we have all experienced that, and we realize that is not what you want to do. So to me, like I said, there's no over the bars mode with this, but to me, like you see in the next slide here, when you've got like these rally guys that are out, these guys are out here for 8, 10, 12 hours. For them to worry about that in the air, it's one less thing that they have to worry about. It's one more thing that they can take off their mind so they can focus on their landing. They can look further ahead. They can work on other items rather than how they are pitched in the air. To me, it's an interesting concept. It's one that I've wondered about kind of when we were going to see. And according to documents that have been released from Honda, it's could be in the near future. To me, like I said, this is coming out, they say, on the 450 rally bike that it's kind of unobtainium for anyone, but I see this going to high-end adventure bikes. If you're going to have the Africa Twin, I don't think it's too long before you see this on that. Have you done the lawn dart thing, Jackie, or have you managed to avoid that?
I cannot confirm or deny any sort of
Okay.
lawn dart
Yeah.
action on a dirt bike or possibly a street bike. No, I definitely have had a couple of oopsie daisy and the very occasional on purpose jump happen during my motorcycle riding career. This is interesting technology to me. I think
Yeah.
all of this stuff is just really fascinating. I don't, in my personal life, I don't know if I have the need for it really. Like, this technology doesn't really speak to me because I don't know if I'm at that level, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I do think it's really fascinating technology for sure. And you nailed it. And I have to admit, when you first said this is going to be like a jump, I thought you were absolutely talking about like a launch assist and like
No.
popping a
No.
wheel popping a wheelie off of a red line is what I thought you were going to be talking about. I kind of
Nope.
got a little excited here.
No, no, and I mean, to me, the jumping, when it comes to off road stuff, jumping is kind of that big thrill. It's the thing that we all love, and it's one of the reasons why we love off road riding. And when you do stuff like this, if it gives you that advantage, so you can learn it better and you feel what the bike's doing, you know what the bike's doing, you can do it more confidently. I mean, there's going to be people that just won't learn how to do this properly, anyways, because the computer will do it for them the whole time. But to me, it is a useful tool, and it's going to help a lot of people, and it's going to prevent some lawn dart action in the future, I think.
Definitely. Well, it's fascinating technology. I always count on the folks at Honda to always keep it fresh, keep it lively out here. I always have great things going on over at Honda. Now, for my second story for today, as promised, I was talking about on the road again, out there and traveling, and I have another awesome ride event that is coming up much sooner than the Harley-Davidson 120th, and that is actually happening this weekend at the beginning of May, May 6th, to be more specific. It is the 17th annual International Female Ride Day. This is a very neat global initiative. This is a global event supporting women, encouraging women to get out and ride, whether you ride solo or ride with a group. A lot of dealerships and OEMs have jumped in to offer support. Again, this is just about creating a little bit more visibility for women that are out here in the motorcycling and power sports space. Currently in motorcycling, according to the most recent MIC numbers, women make up approximately 20% or so of ownership, and that number has been on the rise. In my opinion, it is one of the most untapped potential growth categories out here in the business of motorcycling, but that's another conversation for another day. But anywho, I think that this is a really, really great, neat, cool thing. And as I just mentioned, a lot of OEMs agree. So the title sponsor for this event for the third year in a row is the folks over at Polaris. They have jumped in. They are a sponsor for this event. They are not only talking motorcycles, though. Again, it's Polaris. They're talking their Indian motorcycles, and they're talking their four-wheeled and off-road toys as well. So that's a really interesting thing, I thought. And the folks at Can-Am have stepped in. They are making really neat dealer-specific events. On Saturday, May 6th, BRP and Can-Am team will proudly take the streets alongside female riders in more than 75 communities around the world as part of the 17th annual International Female Ride Day. From the U.S. and Canada to Europe, Asia, and Latin America, Can-Am employees, ambassadors, dealers, and three-wheel vehicle owners will ride together and celebrate the empowerment of women riders and their positive contribution to the power sports industry. So I thought that those were all really good things. And again, not the first time I've seen manufacturers jump in, but here is where there's a bit of a plot twist for this. And this is what I thought was really interesting. A couple of weeks ago, I saw this pop up from Ducati, a notification that they also are hosting kind of like a Ducati day where they want to encourage their Ducati owners to get out, go to the dealership, kumbaya, all ride together, community. We ride as one. Two women on the sides. A gentleman appears to be in the middle of this graphic. And it is also on May 6th. And that is why I thought this was really fascinating. And there was a little bit of pushback out there on the internets because folks were kind of curious about why on this 17th International Female Ride Day, which is a pretty big deal. It is a large OEM recognized, business-wide, industry recognized day, why Ducati would go ahead and decide to create their own day and their own theme, which is We Ride as One. I'm not sure your take on this. I'm not sure your take on this, Josh. Maybe the language barrier just didn't translate or something over to Italian. I'm not really sure, but I thought it was just kind of fascinating, and I just wanted to go ahead and bring it up for any of our Ducati fans out there. May 6th is for you as well. You can double down, especially if you're a woman riding a Ducati. You're going to get double celebrated on May 6th at the local dealership. Josh, what do you think about this story and International Female Ride Day in general?
I mean, anytime you can get groups of people to ride together, I mean, you're uniting people, and I mean that's a huge part of what power sports is about. I mean, that's a big part of it. We joke that I go out and ride solo a lot, but literally, I mean, some of the friendships that I have made through this industry have been absolutely amazing. As far as Ducati goes and what they've done, who knows? I doubt they had the intent that it came across. That being said, I'm going to throw something back at them. You said it's going to encourage them to go to the dealerships. Well, if they're not already at the dealerships picking up their bikes while it's getting worked on, and does that mean they have to leave Starbucks? Those are the two. Those are the. That's the little shade that I'll throw back there for the Ducati owners. But I mean, to me, I get they want to unite everyone and. Sure, but maybe not the right day to do it.
Yeah, it's just out of 52 whopping weekends out of the year, this is the one you decided to land on. Feature women prominently on your advertisement and say we ride as one. Anyway, God bless. Everybody ride safe. Have an awesome weekend. I myself am going to be throwing my bike on the battery tender because she has been snoozing away all winter long. So she's going to need a little bit of love and maybe a little wipe down, a little polish as well. And I also will be participating and going out and riding on May 6th to celebrate International Female Ride Day as well. So ride safe, everybody, if you are participating in any of these awesome group rides out there. Josh, what do you got going on for your next story?
So I saw you perk up when I said BYOB, but it's not BYOB as in the college sense. It is build your own beta. And it's the nice thing is we talked about this program in a previous episode, probably about 3-4 months ago. And I really like this idea. Betas, I mean, they've got their niche in this market as a top tier manufacturer. And what they've done is they've taken and they've become a little more boutique without taking too much out of the manufacturing process. So what you can do with this is you can actually go in and exchange out parts that will come on your beta. I looked at their website right before we came online here. They are saying it's 45 to 60 days from the time that you put in the deposit to the time it's probably going to show up at the dealership, which to me is not all that bad, especially when you consider what people have been looking at before for wait times. So now beta includes the 125 RR Race Edition, the 350 RR Race Edition, 390, 430, and 480 RR Race Editions, which join the X-Trainer and the RR-S models. To me, I mean, like I said, it's a great program, and you get all the parts on your bike that you want from the factory without having to get your hands dirty. And to me, that's a great thing. So I went in and I created of course I did, a 500 RR-S, because if I had my druthers about it, I would probably put one of those in the garage because I'm worth it. Is the things that I swapped out with that were the tires, the full coverage wheel spacers, the Voyager GPS. There's a manual fan option. There's levers and foot pegs, bigger fuel tank, seat, handguards, skid plate and engine covers. There's a kickstart kit. And of course, to me, the most important is the springs for the front and rear to hold up my fat body. I swapped all those out. It ended up being at a price of $15,309. They are currently offering a 15% discount on all parts that you're adding to the bike. So it ends up coming down $526. It's pricey, but when you realize you get a boutique bike like this, to me, and not only that, you get the boutique bike tailored for you and what your wants and needs are. To me, it's a game changer. The fact that you can order this with the suspension basically set up, all you have left to do is do the clickers. To me, that is a big win, rather than getting your bike home and tearing it apart after you've realized, hey, this is too soft for me. So to me, we've talked about it before, and you like the boutique stuff also, Jackie. I mean, you agree with me that this, I think some more are going to start going this way.
Yeah, I mean, I've already seen in the past handful of years the OEM stepping up and going ahead and just jumping in and taking the lead on people, knowing that people are going to want to customize their bike.
Yeah.
They're going to want to change it the minute that they buy it and get it home. So why not capture some of those dollars and go ahead and offer
Yep.
that service to happen either at point of delivery, or it happens at the dealership, or however it happens. That's how they're organizing themselves. I think it's super smart. I think it saves people a lot of trouble, a lot of time. Not a lot of people are necessarily wrenching on their stuff, and might not know how to do all this. They know what they
Right.
want, but they don't know how to get there. So I think it's great. And the beta bikes are just super, super slick, super cool. They're
Yes,
great
they are.
bikes, great quality, beautiful machines. And I would definitely be more than happy to BYOB, Josh. That's all I got to say about that.
Nice. Good. Good. Glad to hear it.
Now, to wrap up today's program, I wanted to go ahead and also take a minute and point out that May is Motorcycle Safety Month. This is the beginning of Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month. Hashtag See Motorcycles. This goes on every single year. This is put on by the MSF Motorcycle Safety Foundation, sponsors this. They always put out these reports of all the distraction, all the speeding, all the bad things that are happening out on the road, and what we could do to try to mitigate some of these things that are happening out there. As always, if you are driving in a car, use your turn signals. Keep an eye on everybody. See motorcycles, look for motorcycles and scooters, look for other people out there on the road. If you are riding your motorcycle or scooter, be visible, but pretend that you are invisible. Gear up for every ride, follow the rules of the road, make sure you look over your bike before you're even heading out there, and of course, don't ride distracted. Keep to the speed limits. Don't ride or drive under the influence. This year's hashtag is hashtag See Motorcycles and hashtag Expect Us See Us. Just wanted to go ahead and point that out because this is very real. This is very serious. Total side note, I want to take a second and also just chat about with Josh real quick that I totally support and encourage, especially the sales of things like e-bikes and the little like bird scooters. Those things people kind of are weird about or have opinions about and aren't big fans. Personally, I feel like the more of these things that are out on the road and people that normally ride or don't ride but drive cars and trucks, the more they're out there on them, I feel like it trains them to start seeing more two-wheeled and other alternative vehicles out on the road. So I think that those are a good thing and support this initiative of seeing motorcycles and seeing other things out on the road more. Josh, what do you think about this whole Safety Awareness Month situation?
I agree, and I mean, it's every month should be Safety Awareness Month, but obviously you have to pick one to make the big push, so that way people pay attention to it. To me, I agree with you. The more people, the more we can get people mobile on smaller things, whether it be a scooter, whether it be an e-bike, whatever it is, the more people are going to realize, okay, yeah, I need to look out for stuff. To me, safety is always a thing. Like, I mean, go dress for the slide, not the ride. That is my motto 100%. I do not leave the house unless I'm in full gear. It's just what I do. There is a routine. I enjoy it. And the fact that the gear is made so well anymore, you really don't have an excuse not to wear it because it's so comfortable. So to me, all those things. And yes, the other one that I always like to see is when people say, instead of, because you never see punch buggies anymore, is tell your kids to count motorcycles. Because it trains them as kids to grow up looking for motorcycles. And I absolutely love it when I hear that.
Yeah, that is a wonderful suggestion for this month. And you're right, every single month, we
Yep.
should always be looking for motorcycles. So that's it for today's show, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. As always, you can go ahead, ask us any questions in the comments. Let us know what you think. We always go back through there and look at and reply and peek in and say hey to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, all these episodes always live forever and ever out here on the internet, whether you're watching over on our YouTube Motorcycle Powersports News page or on Facebook. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Ride safe.